Dear students, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you? I hope best for you. I Mukesh Kumar welcomes you to online Mukesh Online Academy. आपका मुकेश ऑनलाइन अकेडमी में स्वागत है. And we are doing the maths of class 8 from the NCERT book. And today we will start a new chapter, that is the data handling, chapter number 5. Okay. And in this video we will cover the various things about the data, like what is the data, and what are the different situations we can collect the data, how do we collect the data, and how to represent the data graphically. Okay, so that we will just give a recap of what we have done into the class 6 and 7th. Okay, now just take out your notebook and pen and start practicing with me. Math is a subject of practice. More you practice, more you get. And I hope you must be practicing very well. Okay. And don't practice only from the NCERT book. Okay. See some other books also along with the NCERT book. Okay. So this will help you to just do the mathematics in a better way. Okay. And if you have any doubt, if you have any query, then you can write to me on the WhatsApp or email. So definitely we will be solving your queries and we will make another video for your queries. Okay. And I hope you must be getting knowledge from my videos. Kindly share it with your friends, subscribe to it, ask your friend to subscribe. And in this video what we are going to do, the introduction to data. Means what is the data, how we collect the data, what are the different situations we collect the data, different examples that we have done into the class 6 and 7. We will take one example of each representation. Okay, so now let's do it. So dear students, today we will start a new chapter in mathematics for class 8, that is the data handling. Okay, and we will discuss what is the data handling in this video and what is the different types of data. Okay, and how does the data we take and what are the different situations that we take the data. Okay, so now let's first do the what is the data. Okay, so that we need to know what is the data. So the first one is, what is data? We come across in life with so many things, like suppose if your teacher asks you to find the heights of all students in your class, then what do? You just take the names and they measure their heights and write them. Same way we can have so many things at various places. There we need to collect some information. So we can say the collection of information particularly for that situation is the data. Okay, so how can we describe it? A data is a collection of information, numbers, etc. But this should be relevant to that situation, relevant to a situation. So that is called the data. Okay, gathered to give some information. Okay, so the data is a collection of information, numbers, etc. relevant to a situation. Okay, gathered to give some information, that is called the data. So now what are the different examples of the data? Like the first example that we can write, cricket scoreboard. I think all of you or most of you must be watching the cricket. So there is a cricket board comes, okay, where we get the player name, the how many balls it has gone, how many wickets that person has taken, and how many runs that person has taken. Okay, so cricket scoreboard is a collection of information. The second example that we can do, runs made by a batsman in the last 10 test matches or one days or 2020s. Okay, so by using this information we can just see the performance of that batsman. So it is relevant to that situation to see the performance of a batsman. Number 3, the number of wickets taken by a bowler in the last 10 one-day internationals. Okay, suppose if we want to see the performance of a bowler, how that bowler has performed, so we can just see in the last 10 matches how many wickets he has taken. So by doing this we can see the performance of that bowler. Okay, Now, fourth example that we can give, marks obtained by the students of your class in mathematics unit test or some other subject. Okay, suppose if your teacher wants to see the performance of the student, performance of the class, that what we can do, that they can see the in any subject, like in mathematics. So what are the each student that has got the numbers. Okay, by seeing those numbers, the person or the teacher can come to know about the performance, how that class is performing. Now the fifth example, number of storybook read by each of your friends, etc. Okay, suppose if you have been given the task to read the storybooks, then you can, against any name, all the names, you can write how many storybooks that person has read. Okay, that student has read. So this way we can see the extracurricular activities. Now the sixth part is temperature of cities. Suppose if we want to compare the temperature between the different cities, the maximum minimum temperature, so we can take in the data form. Next is score of football team in World Cup matches played. Okay, so that is also the amount of data, that is also the example of data, and so on. There are so many situations in which we can take the data. We can come across any situation where we need to give the information, okay, that we can find into the real life. So now let's repeat it. See, what is the data? Data is a collection of information, numbers, etc. relevant gathered to give some information. Means we are collecting some information for a particular situation, that information becomes the data. Okay, there are various examples like cricket scoreboard, like runs made by batsman in the last 10 test matches, like number of wickets taken by the bowler in the last 10 one-days, marks obtained by the students in your class in mathematics unit test, number of storybooks read by each of you and each of your friends. Okay, temperature of cities, score of the football team, different teams in the World Cup matches, and there are so many situations we have to collect the data. Okay, now the question comes, how do we record or collect the data? So the next thing is recording or collecting data. Recording or collecting data. Okay, as I just told you, we should collect the data for a particular condition or a particular situation. Okay, so data is usually collected in the context of a situation that we want to study. Okay, suppose if we want to study the performance of the class in all the subjects, so what will we do? We will collect the marks for every student in all the subjects and then make the total of it, and then by totaling it, then we can compare the performance of each student in the class. So that is the context to test the performance. Okay, so that is the context for which we are collecting the data. Before collecting data, we need to know the purpose, means of using data. As I just told you in the previous example, here in that example we know we have to just check the performance of each student in the class. So that is the purpose of collecting those data. Okay, so by collecting those data we can just see the performance. So that is the purpose of collecting that data. Okay, otherwise if we don't have any purpose to collect the data, there is no need to waste the time. Okay, now for example, we can write different example for this situation also. For example, a teacher might like to know the average height of students in her class. Okay, suppose if your teacher wants to make the seating arrangement as per the height, means in the increasing order of the height, so that means she must know the height of the each student. So what she will do, she will ask any student to record the height of the student and then record in the tabular form and then make it into the increasing order. So this way she can come to know that which student has got which one, how much height. Okay. So what she can do to find this, she will write the heights of all the students in her class, organize the data in a systematic manner, and then interpret it accordingly. Okay, so this is how she will collect the data. Okay, now what is the second thing? The performance of class in any subject. Okay, so that is also the purpose. For this they can collect the data. Okay, there can be another thing also, like performance of India in football or cricket. So for this purpose what we need to do, that how many matches we have won or how many matches we have lost. Okay, if it is football, then by how much scoreboard was there, means how many goals the India did and by how many goals it won or lost. Same way, if it is cricket, then it can be either wicket, how many wickets, by how many wickets it won, or by how many wickets it lost, or by how many runs it made. Okay, so there are various things that we can compare. Okay, to see the performance of country. Sometime we need to know the literacy rate also, female literacy rate in a given area. Okay, suppose if we need to find in a particular area, in particular mohalla or particular colony, then we can just see, we can go to each and every house and we can ask them how much they have studied, until how many classes they have studied. Okay, what is their education. So this gives us the literacy rate, that how much literate females are there in that particular area. Number of children below the age of 5 in the families around you. See, suppose if we want to give the polio drops are given normally to the children which are below 5 years of the age, or 5 years till 5 years of the age. Okay, and suppose if you are the volunteer giving the polio drops, then what you should know, that in your surroundings, in your area, how many children are there below the age of 5. Only then we can give them the drops. So this is the purpose of collecting the data. Okay, so now let's repeat it. See, data is usually collected in the context of a situation that we want to study, and before collecting the data we need to know the purpose of using the data, for what purpose it is being used. There are various examples, like a teacher might like to know the average height of the student in class for different purposes. Okay, like a teacher might, or your principal might want to know the performance of your class in any subject, like somebody wants to know the performance of India in the football or cricket or any other game. Okay, female literacy rate in a given area, or the number of children of the age of 5, below the age of 5 in the families around you, and many more situations. So what we can collect the data according to the situation, and we will just target the different persons according to our purpose. Okay, now how to collect data. Now the question comes, how to collect or record data. Suppose we have collected the data, we have gone from home to home, we have just written the name and whatever the information is required. Okay, now we have collected the data. Now, but how to record that is the main thing, that we need to know, that in which column we should write what things. Okay, so that we need to know. So we just see it by an example. See, here we have taken an example of class which is preparing to go for a picnic. Okay, and the teacher has asked students to give their choice of fruit out of banana, apple, orange and guava. Uma is asked to prepare the list. She prepared a list of all the children and wrote the choice of fruit against each name, and this list would help the teacher to distribute the fruit according to their choice. So these are the different names given here, and these are and against each name which fruit is liked by the student is given here. Okay, so how does this data help the teacher to use this? First of all, he can come to know that how many fruits of each type he has to take with him or her. Okay, Now, if the banana is liked by how many persons have banana like the banana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means he has to take at least 8 bananas with him. So same way we can count for other fruits also, and that will help you first of all to see that the right fruit goes to the right student. Second thing, and he can buy the right amount of fruit, so that and nothing is going waste. So this is how this data can be used for that purpose. Okay. Now let's see the next example. As I told you initially, cricket scoreboard. So this is the scoreboard for the bowlers, and this is the scoreboard for batsmen. So in here we have the 10 overs for each. Okay. This maiden over means where the no run was given. He had this has given the total run 40 and had taken the wicket 3. So by using this data, we can come to know which bowler has performed very well. Okay, like you can see here in this one, this C has got the best performance ever bowler, because he has given the least number of runs. Though 2 maiden overs means where the no run was given, and he has taken the 1 wicket. But if you take the number of wickets wise, then the A is better, then the D is better. Okay, so this is how we can see the performance, and this is the performance of batsmen. Okay, the number of balls faced, the number of runs made. So this is how we can see the performance of the cricketer in the cricket match. Okay, now let's do the next example. In this example, the temperature of the different cities have recorded maximum and minimum temperature. So maximum temperature in Ahmedabad, Amritsar, Bangalore. So maximum temperature and the minimum temperature for the day has been recorded for the date 20 June to 2006, and this will help us to compare. So which is the hottest city, because it is the month of June, and the month of June is for the summers. This can tell us that the hottest city into the area. Okay. Now next example. See, in this example it is given that score of the football World Cup matches played between the teams, like Ukraine beat Saudi Arabia by 4-0. So that means the Ukraine give the 4 goals against the 0 goal of the Saudi Arabia, and this is the given by this is the data for the football World Cup. This will help us. So which team is performing better? Okay, to give them the awards. Now comes how to represent data graphically. Okay, we can represent the data in the 2 different forms. We can represent the data in tabular form also, and we can represent the data into the graphical form. So there are different ways of representing the data. So now representing data graphically. Okay, so there are various ways of recording the data graphically that we will just discuss here. Okay, one is the pictograph that you have already studied into the class 6. Okay, second by using bar graph, that also you have studied into the class 7th and 6th. Okay, third is double bar graph. This also we have already studied into the class 7. Okay, the fourth is histogram, that now we will study. Okay, the fifth is pie chart. This will also study, and the sixth one is frequency polygon, that we will study into the class 9. So pictograph we have already studied, bar graph we have already studied, double bar graph we have already studied into the previous classes, and in this one we will study the histogram and pie chart, and in the class 9 we will study the frequency polygon. So now let's revise the pictograph by bar graph and double bar graph. See, pictograph as we have studied into the class 6, it is a pictorial representation of data using the symbols. Here the symbol has been used as car, and here the 1 car means the 100 cars. The symbol of 1 car is equal to the 100 cars. Okay, so in July, August, September, the 3-month data has been given. The half car means the half of the 100. So now we have certain questions here that we need to do, that we have already done into the class 6 basically. Now here the question is, how many cars were produced in the month of July? Okay, now in the month of July we have the 1 symbol, 2 symbol and half symbol. So that means 100 plus 100, and this half symbol means 50. So that means 250 cars in the month of July, in July. Okay, so 250 cars have been sold into the month of July. Now the question is, which month were maximum number of cars produced? Okay, now here in July we have the 3 symbols, means 2.5 symbols. In the August we have the 3 symbols, and the September we have got the 4 symbols. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means 4 into 100, so which is equal to 400. So that means 400 cars produced in month of September. Okay, so it was the month of September when the maximum number of cars were produced. So, and in how many cars were produced in that month? In the 400 cars were produced into that month. Okay, so this is how we use the pictograph for the representation of data. Clear? Now next, the bar graph. Now in the, what is the bar graph? Basically the display of information using bars of the uniform width, their heights being proportional to their respective values. You can see these width is same everywhere, here also, here also, here also, here also, but this height is different for the different values. As you can see here, the values number of students in the class 8, as the number of students in his class 8 is changing, the height of this bar is also changing. Okay, so first of all they have asked you what is the information given by the bar graph. So what is given here? It is the academic year is given. Here the number of students are given. So that means we can write the number of students in the class 8 in the different academic years. Okay, this is the information which is given here. So what we can write? The number of students in class 8 in different academic years. What are these academic years? Means from 2003 to 2008. So these are the different academic years that are coming in this between period. So this is the information which is given by this bar graph. Now the question is, in which year is the increase in the number of students maximum? So we have to check in which year this maximum increase has been done. See, in the academic year 2003-2004 there are 100 students. In the 2004 and 2005 there are 200 students. In 2005 and 2006 there are 250 students, and then 2006 and 2007 we have the 300 students, and then we have the 350 students. See, what you can see, the height of the graph. The height of the graph is maximum between the sessions 2003-4 and between 2004 and 5. So this is the maximum shift here. So maximum height, we can check the maximum height. So there has been an increase in number of the maximum. So that means in 2004-5 there is a maximum increase in number of students. Okay, means by 100. The 100 students have increased. So by just looking at the height difference in the height of the graph, we can see the difference. Okay. Now what is the next question? In which year the number of students maximum? As we can see, as I have written the numbers, though the 350 is coming here. So in 2007-8 the number of students are maximum. So what will be right? In 2007-08 the maximum students. And how many students are there? Here we have the 350 students in this year. Okay. Now the next question is, the number of students during 2005-2006 is twice that of 2003-4. We have to state whether it is true or false. See, we can do this question here because we have to see this diagram again. See, in 2005-2006, in 2005-6 we have how many students? We have 250 students. Okay, and in 2003-2004 we have the 100 students. So that means it is not 2 times, it is the 2.5 times. So it is false. Okay, why? It is false. Reason, what is the reason? That it is 2.5 times that of 2003-4. Okay. So now let's repeat. So what is the information given by this bar graph? Number of students in class 8 in different academic years. And there is, by looking at the height of the bar graph, we can just see the maximum increase. So there has been in 2004 and 2005 there is a maximum increase, and the maximum student just gives by the 2007-8. So 350 students, and statement is false because there is an increase 2.5 times, not the twice. Okay, I hope you got it. Now let's do the next example. Now for the next double bar graph. Now the double bar graph. So what is the double bar graph? We are showing the two graphs with the same data or two different set of data but simultaneously. Okay, the bar graph showing two sets of data simultaneously, and it is useful for the comparison of data. Here in this example, there has been the performance in different subjects is given. Okay, but the two different years, but 2005 and 2006, 2006 and 2007. So this is the given, this is the set for 2005-6, and this is the set for 2006-7. The same for other subjects also. Okay. So now first we need to do what is the information given by the double bar graph. Okay. So it is the double bar graph gives the information that the marks obtained by a student in different subjects in the year 2005-6 and 2006-7. So what is the information gives? This gives the information that marks obtained by a student in different subjects in years 2005-6 and 2006-7. So that means continuously for 2 years how he has performed in different subjects that has been given for a particular student. Now question is, in which subject has the performance improved the most? See, in maths in 2005-6 the height of the graph is less, but in the 2006-7 the height of graph is too much. Okay, there is a too much difference. Here he has just got 30 marks, in 2006-7 got the 60 marks, but you cannot find the same height everywhere. So that means in the maths he has improved too much. So what we can write as the answer? So what is the answer here in maths? Okay, so in mathematics that person has improved the most. Now next question is, in which subject has the performance deteriorated? What we can see, in social science this performance has gone up because the height of the graph in 6-7 is more. Same with the science, the height of the graph is more than the previous year. But here in the English, the graph means the height of the graph means height of the bar is less than the previous year. So that means in English he has performed, his performance has deteriorated. So what will be right in English? He has deteriorated his performance. Okay. Now next question is, in which subject performance at par? As you can see, the height of the bar in Hindi in both the year is equal. So that means there is no change in the performance in the Hindi. So what we can write the answer here, the Hindi is the subject in which means he has not improved. The performance is same. So now let's repeat again. So what is the double bar graph? When we give the two bars with the same different set of data for the two different times. Okay. It simultaneously, that is the bar graph, and it is best to compare the data. So just in this example, so we have been given the information that the marks obtained by a student in different subjects in the two different years. And in maths he has performed most, okay, improved the most. In English his performance has been deteriorated, and in Hindi his performance is at par. I hope you would have understood it, that what is the data, how to record or collect the data, how to represent the data graphically. Okay. So dear students, in the next video we will do the try these on the page number 71. There are 3 questions that we will do, and we will learn how to organize the data. Okay, that you have learned into the class 7 and 6 also, but there will be a little shift what you have learned in the class 6 and 7. Thank you so much for your watching. Write your comments about the video, any query, any doubt about the topic into the comment box, or you can write to me on the WhatsApp or email, and practice it along with me. And if you practice more, then you will get more. You know, math is a subject of practice, and I hope you will be practicing, and I hope you will be getting knowledge from my videos. Kindly share it with your friends, subscribe to it, Ask your friend to subscribe. Thank you so much.